What's good, people? It's Lewis or bbrights and I am back for a brand new video. Today I'm going to be working on the final part of the Big Room Trance, Big Room PsyTrance tutorial. I'm not sure how long this episode is going to be, so if it's quite long I'll probably split it up into two parts and upload them in like just one after the other, so there are two videos coming out today. I'll see how long depending on how much I need to get done. The main things I want to do in this episode is go over the track and get some nice, just polish the whole track with volume, do a little mix down and add some few like little details that need to be added, like the drop synths in the build, work on this drop chord stab here, work on that, and maybe add a new drop vocal, depending if we can find one. If we can't, we'll just copy and paste this one here.
1, 2, 3, come on!
But we'll see. And yeah, and just do a little bit of mix down, depending on how it sounds. I might work on an intro and outro and do a quick edit to show that. And then yeah, that's probably the track done, and I'll probably put it out on my store so everyone can download the template and learn from it. Take some of the sounds I used, the effects, some of the melodies, presets, whatever. So yeah, you can purchase it on my store once this tutorial is done. So let's just get right into it. So instead of playing the full track like I normally do, I'm just going to play it from the build 2 section, because I'm pretty sure you've heard this first section multiple times already throughout this tutorial. So just to refresh everyone's memory, we'll play just from this build section here, and then we'll make we'll start working on the track. So enjoy. Yeah, another thing I just remembered to change, like last episode, is this triplet thing here. The song is no longer in triplets, it is in regular rhythm. So we can change this just like a regular dun dun. Yeah, that'll work. And also, I probably need to do sidechain reverb for the drop leads. I think there's a lot of reverb going on. I'm pretty sure I haven't done sidechain reverb. Let's just double check quickly. No. So yeah, we need to do sidechain reverb. I'm spoiled for details. Let's just get right into it. Depending, it looks like we've got to do quite a bit, so this will be probably split up into like two 30-minute parts, two 25-minute parts, depending on how long the video is. But instead of waffling, let's just get right into it, and let's start with the chord stab. So the first thing we are going to do is pitch it up an octave on the second 4 bars. So it sounds like this now. And then we're going to create an automation clip on the low cut and do the same thing. In the second 4 bars of the build up, it's just going to do a small . Nice. So let's quickly see what that sounds like with the track. Nice. Probably just turn it down a bit more. It seems to be a bit too aggressive. So that's pretty much all I wanted to do for that. And the other main thing, I think we should just get this. Do the that was quite loud. Do the sidechain reverb quickly. So we have these 3 main layers. Then we have a chord layer that plays the chords. And that's the chord step that's in the build up that we just changed. Let's put that on top. And let's quickly do some sidechain reverb. So the way I'm going to do it this time is just use a regular and its saw from Silent, and use Fruity P controller and link it that way. So let's call this verb carry and put it in number 97. Put a Fruity P controller on, mute the signal so you can't hear it. Go to the drop bus, right click the mix knob, link to controller, and find verb carry, which is here. Choose the peak, change it to inverted, and accept it. Now, like before, I've showed this multiple times. You have to copy the MIDI information over. So when the MIDI plays over the top of the reverb MIDI, it will duck, and obviously the more aggressive the volume is, if I turn it all the way up, it gets louder. And then we need to go into the spanner and turn up the volume multiplier knob here just to get it a little louder. And there's Sidechain reverb going on. So when the MIDI is not playing, the reverb will shoot back up and it will create a nice clean reverb effect. So next we're going to work on adding these drop synths into the build section. So I don't think we'll add them here because this is still quite a melodic section. So yeah, I'll probably move this here, because that's still part of the break. This is the actual when the build starts. So what we're going to do is solo this, and we're going to take out the chord information, and we need to figure out which one of these leads has the most body. So we get rid of this one. Actually, no, we want to get rid of this one for the first half, and then we want to move everything to the root note of the song, which is D sharp. This needs to be an octave lower. So now we can pitch these up. So make sure the pitch bend range of your plugin is 12 semitones. Make this 12 as well. Make an automation clip, and it's going to pitch up at the end. And instead of creating 4, or say for example you had 8 layers in the drop and you wanted to pitch them all up in the build, instead of creating 8 automation clips, there's a trick that I'm about to show where you can create 1 but link every other synth to that 1 automation clip. So again, the pitch bend range at the bottom is 12, the pitch bend range up here is 12, so you right click, link to controller, and you want to choose the drop 2 lead 1 channel pitch and accept that. So now this pitch bend knob is linked to that automation clip, and we're going to do that for this one as well. Make sure this is 12, not 24, because that'd be too octaves rather than 1 octave. Change this to 12. Link to controller. Choose drop to channel pitch, accept it. Now if we play this now, there's one automation clip, but all 3 leads will pitch up the same. And there we go. So the only thing we really need today is filter them in, so that's nice and smooth transition. So we're going to put the filter underneath the OTT. Sounding good. Make this bigger so we have more control. Zoom in. What we're going to do is put the drop hoover as soon as the drop starts. So it drives more energy in the second drop because there's the drop hoover's playing. So next, I think I want to try and look for another pre-drop vocal. Not sure what I'm going to use. We could probably look. It'll probably end up being this one. Let's put it just here, just for now. I need to add this cowbell and drop snare, but we just remember we have to change this because this is triplets. So this will be like this instead. Yeah, so the one I do have a pre-drop in mind. Pretty sure it's in the G Max number 2 vocal shouts.
Are you ready? Get ready.
Pump up the bass.
3, 2, 1, go!
Pump up
Bang that.
Do you jump it, drop the beat?
beats.
Everybody put get your hit the drummer.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it, so I'm going to quickly make a quick edit, and then I'll see you in a second. And after about 10 minutes of searching, I finally found it. It is this one right here.
1, 2, 3, let's go! 1, 2, 3.
That is one I was looking for. It took a while, but we got there in the end. So let's get rid of the browser quickly. We don't need that. And hopefully this is just straight in key. We don't have to hopefully do a lot of pitch changing up and down. See what it sounds like.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
I think it's in the key of D sharp already.
1, 2, 3, let's go! 1, 2, 3, let's go!
Maybe that's D sharp, just down one. Then that 1, 2, 3, let's go. And yeah, I think the main thing now is going through. We should make an intro and outro first. So instead of me boring you like usual, you don't want to see me copy and paste, because it's usually nice to make the whole track first and then go through and do the intro and outro afterwards, because you have everything at your disposal. You have all your effects you can use. You have all the melodic elements, all the sound elements. You can choose and pick what you want to use in the intro. So yeah, I'm going to do a time lapse, and then if the time lapse seems to be too long, I'll just make an edit again once the intro and outro is done, and I'll speak to you in a second. And I am back. So yeah, took solid amount of time just working on the intro and outro. Like I said just before I'd done the edit, it's just pretty much just copy and pasting a lot of stuff, like the stabs, the kick, the claps, and I added some toms here in the intro and outro. Made a unique pattern just for the intro and outro as well, using the first drop synths. Just a simple chord stab. Simple enough. And obviously some just a crowd effect, some sweeps, the breath effect here. And I need to add this quickly, which is the rising ride effect. So yeah, if I just play the intro and outro now quickly, and this is what I have done. Enjoy. I have to fix the drop synths, like always. Yeah, and that builds up into the first drop. It drops as usual, and then after the second drop it goes into the outro. And that is the track, essentially. That is 3 minutes and 38 seconds. A full track produced in 10 hours and 51 minutes. Usually I'd spend close to like 40 hours on my original tracks, but I didn't want to make the tutorial extremely long. That would have been foolish, making a 40-hour tutorial. But yeah, around 10 hours of work to produce this track. From what I heard, there's not really much mixdown to be done. I made some little adjustments while I was making the intro and outro, just making some fine tuning to the drum volumes and doing some of the effects volumes because the crowd was a bit too loud in the intro, and in the drop section as well. And just making some fine tuned volume adjustments. But that is essentially the track. So I'm going to bounce it out and make some small adjustments by adding an ozone on the master and stuff like that, and then I'm going to play you the full track in its entirety. And yeah, I guess but at the end of the week I'll put it out on my store for anyone who's interested in purchasing it. It'll be relatively cheap. I spent a long time on this, so yeah, it'll be relatively cheap on my store. I'll put a link in the description and you can purchase this on Friday. And yeah, enjoy the track with some tiny bit of mastering, and I will speak to you soon. And there you have it. So I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you learned some new information and techniques to improve your production quality. I realised that some people were confused about if it's Big Room Trance or if it's just Big Room or Big Room PsyTrance or whatever. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed and learned something. I really appreciate the support in this series. I've been getting a lot of comments saying I've helped them out or I've inspired them to make a track and stuff like that. So that stuff really means a lot to me. So I'm happy to help. I just want to point out a few things about this tutorial. The main thing is your mixdown. So a lot of people think that your master can save your track, but the most important thing is your mixdown. Work on your mixdown, get that sounding as clean as possible. The volume levels sound really, really nice. All the synths to sound nice, the super source not to be too ear-piercing and too hissy. The bass not to be too loud or too subby, the kick not to be too loud and punch over the rest of the track. Get your mixdown perfect and then your mastering will be a lot easier for you. The second thing is when I use the term polishing. The main thing I mean by polishing is going through the track and getting the volume levels perfect for everything, like leveling the drums, getting them sounding nice, getting the kick and sub and all that perfect, getting the synths at the perfect level, mainly leveling and going through the track, maybe replacing some sounds, adding some small sounds, just overall getting the track completely finalized is what I mean by polishing. And the last thing is just enjoy making the track. If you feel stressed out, have a break, give your ears a break. Sometimes if your ears get a little fatigued, you can hear some hiccups in your song when there's not actually any hiccups. So just take some breaks, have fun with it. And if you want to base your track off this tutorial or get inspiration from the tutorial, that is perfectly fine. I'm going to be uploading the FLP and the project to my store on Friday. So you can purchase the project, use the sounds, take some of the drum samples, some of the presets, some of the melodic elements, the structure elements, whatever you want to use from it is royalty free to use in your own productions and learn from. It's going to be relatively cheap, so don't expect anything expensive. It's going to be very, very affordable. So if you're interested in that, on Friday I will post a small video with a link in the description to my store to purchase it. And yeah, that is essentially it. So I really appreciate the support. Like the video if you enjoyed. Helps the channel grow, makes me happy. And I will see you in my next video on Friday and maybe one more stream on Monday before Christmas. And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a New Year. And I will speak to you all very, very soon.